You don't need £1 million to retire, okay? I said it. I've heard it a million times more than I want to hear it, and I'm sure you've heard this saying before. £1 million is a ridiculous amount of money to need to retire. We do not live in the United States of America. We live in the UK. We have a state pension here, which is incredibly helpful for everyone that's worked throughout their career and to ensure there is a minimum standard of living. But in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to work out a crude calculation of the amount you might need in retirement savings to be able to retire. I'm also going to give you a bit more information around things to consider when looking at that number specifically. It's not going to be a long video, but why should you listen to me? I'm Ryan, I'm a chartered financial advisor. I've been in the financial services industry for about a decade. I specialize in retirement planning. It's literally my day job to help people like you make better informed decisions. That out the way, how do I actually calculate my retirement number? Like, this is the only reason you're watching this video, not for my random antics. So let me get into it. You need to start off with your expenditure. How much do you spend on a monthly and an annual basis? Include things like dental, holidays, coffee trips, lending a friend money, gifting to charities, spontaneous buying that jacket in, I don't know, Uniqlo or wherever you shop for your clothing. You'd include all these things, and then you get your annual expenditure. In my case, it's probably going to be about £20,000 a year. And I'd like to think by the time I get to my retirement age, say 60 in this case, if I'm spending £20,000 a year, I'm going to need that to live for the rest of my life. The way you work this out is you go, my annual expenditure is this, so £20,000. I'm going to be in retirement, and the ONS, the Office of National Statistics, state I might live to about 85. So let's assume I'm going to be in retirement for 25 years. So expenditure times the years you expect to be in retirement gives me a number of £500,000. £500,000 is still quite a lot of money. But here's the caveat. We have a state pension. At the moment, it's about £230 a week, or just under £12,000 a year. That comes in for me, in my case, at 68 years of age. So assuming I've got no mortgage and I want to retire at 60, I need to bridge the gap between 60 and 68. So 20,000 a year times 8 years, that's £160,000. Then in retirement, because I've got my state pension, which is 12,000, I'm not gonna, I need to make that shortfall of 8,000 a year, which that 8 years, £8,000 times 17 years, which is the difference from 68 to 85, that's £136,000, if my math is correct. Hopefully it is in this, I'm doing it on the fly. Then add those numbers together. So I've got £160,000 to buy myself out of work to retire early at 60. And then I need £136,000. That's £196,000 I need in retirement savings to be able to retire on my own as an individual. But here's the thing. If I don't have kids, if I don't have a family, if I don't care about gifting a legacy, I could probably release some equity from my home when I get to around 75, 80. And I'm probably going to be okay, which means I still might need less. The key thing here is that money, whether it's in a pension, in an ISA, in a cash bank account, in NS&I premium bonds, because you like the little prizes if you win them each month, that money should be invested. It should be growing to beat inflation and to produce a bit of profit to keep you wealthy. So that starting number of 296,000 in my case might actually be lower, because I'm probably not going to spend 20,000 every year. Some years it might be slightly more, some years it might be slightly less. Typically in the first few years of retirement, you spend a little bit more. Now, the onus for me, the thing I'm going to give you to do, is I want you to look at your workplace pension. This is the number one thing I see a huge problem with. A recent study, 26 out of 29 workplace pension funds underperformed their benchmark. And their benchmark was like the FTSE, the UK markets, which if you live in the UK, have done really, really badly. But I want you to challenge yourself, look at your workplace pension and go, what are the fees? What are the charges? What's the performance? Have I got all these pension pots scattered around? Is it time to bring them together, a process known as consolidation, and make them work for me harder? A lot of workplace pensions, as I just mentioned, underperform. There are investment options at your company. Your employer is only obligated to set a pension up for you and invest you into something. Usually they do like a lifestyle fund, which they base it on your age. So typically if you're younger, then it's higher risk, not all the time, but it could be typically higher risk, which is fine because you can weather the storms of the market. But as you approach retirement, depending on when you retire, most employer funds will actually put you in really underperforming funds, like worse than inflation, worse than just leaving it in cash in a bank account. And it's up to you to ensure you're doing right by your future self so you don't get that fear of missing out. You don't get to retirement age and go, now these life savings are really important to me. I wish I paid attention sooner. So that's my message to you.